On this week's episode of the Crushing Debt Podcast, how to get the government to crush your debt. So welcome back to this week's episode of the Crushing Debt Podcast. My name is Sean Yesner, owner and founder of Yesner Law, and I've got with me in studio after a brief hurricane break last week, George Corbello. How you doing, George?
Doing well. Again, I just want to say, family's safe. Everyone's good from our side, but it's really amazing, the devastation around Tampa. Again, not even a direct hit. It was just, your outer bands, but a lot of storm surges. So, my heart goes out, and obviously where we can support and help the local community. But I'm glad everyone's safe, at least, and be able to do that recovery.
Yeah, there are communities out there that look like literal war zones.
Yeah.
I was at a buddy's house all day Saturday. We're going out to another family's house on Sunday to help them clean up. I've got a couple of different I'm a part of a couple of different meal trains for other families here because, it takes some major arm twisting for me to fire up the Big Green Egg. And
I can imagine
as long as I'm making barbecue for me, I'll make some for other people.
There you go. That's how you can contribute to the community. So I love that. That's great. Great to hear. Great to hear.
So, we actually had, it was funny, we had just a rainstorm yesterday that was probably worse for where I live than the hurricane itself.
Go figure.
The rainstorm dropped more rain on in the neighborhood than the storm ever did. So, Mother Nature, go figure.
Yep.
But so we have officially renewed. Speaking of transitions, we have officially renewed with Magic Mind.
Nice.
So we are. Thank you, Magic Mind.
Thank you
for continuing to support the show. We've got a new discount code, new campaign, new discount code, new tracking. So it's magicmind.com/CD20.
Ooh.
C as in crushing, D as in debt 20. And that's also the discount code, CD20, and that'll get you 20% off your first order, whether it's a one-time 15 or 30 order or whether it's a monthly subscription. We definitely recommend the monthly subscription. I had to take Magic Mind yesterday. It was one of those days that we had all day. So yesterday was the Jewish New Year. So
congrats.
Happy New Year. So, but I had a 3 hours in temple.
There you go.
So I definitely needed my Magic Mind.
I didn't want to say anything, but I think I would have needed it as well.
I needed it to
well,
stay awake
I
during
I
services.
took mine right before the podcast. I've had a little bit of a lull sleeping wise, so I took mine, got my my shot in, and I'm ready to go from a podcast standpoint and ready to tackle the day. So let's go.
So thank you, Magic Mind. We appreciate it. But we've got a guest on this week's episode.
We do.
So let me get to his introduction. He is a renowned expert in government grants and financial aid, known for helping individuals access funding opportunities. He's been studying grants for nearly 48 years old, although he looks to be about 49 years old. He's been awarded 2 New York Times bestsellers and has been a syndicated columnist for the New York Times and Good Housekeeping magazine. He's got decades of experience on national talk shows like Oprah and The Today Show, and one of the top infomercials in America. He's guided millions of people in finding support for debt, expenses, education, housing, entrepreneurship, investing, healthcare, and more. Welcome our guest, Matthew Lesko. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm not familiar with that term.
I heard my dad say once when people call him when people say Mr. Yesner.
And even when people call me Mr. Lesko, I keep looking for my father.
Exactly.
When people call my dad Mr. Yesner, he says, "I don't see my father around here."
Exactly. All right, no, he died long ago.
So, I do want to give out, and I'll put these links in the notes too, but just so people have the way to get a hold of you, it's lescofreeradio@gmail.com or lescopublicity@gmail.com. The website is lescobooks.com or
not Lesko Books.
.lesco.com.
I don't know. I got to get to them.
This is what they gave me, man. So
I know.
I'm reading what they gave me. Facebook is Lesko Help.
Forget all that stuff. I don't pay attention to it.
Lesko Help, and on X.
Let's Go Help is good. Let'sGoHelp.com. That's the best place.
And on X is Lesko Free Radio.
No, that's not there anymore either.
Oh, okay. Need to get your people to update.
I'll get them.
Well, we'll just Google you, and I'd imagine there'll be plenty of stuff on you.
I think if someone Googles you, there'll be plenty of
you.
stuff
You
on
are famous for sure.
So good and bad.
But I guess what really the reason that that I was excited to talk to you this week was, especially now, especially in Florida, in the wake of a storm, people need help, and that's what you help people do, is get the money that they need to help themselves, right?
Right. And that's, you talk about the storm there. Well, this is how I learned about it. I mean, I grew up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. I didn't know anything about government stuff or whatever, but we had a flood back in the early 70s. And I was out of town before that. Maybe I was in school. I don't know what the hell I was doing. But I went back to shovel, our family, our business, and everything for 2-3 weeks or whatever. And what's neat about a flood, and I guess here, is that I hear you talking earlier about how you're helping the community, and it brings people together. Because a force of nature like that doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, or whatever. You're all fucked. And it was such a wonderful community. But when I saw the help that the government gave, my dad's house was gone, my dad's business was gone, or whatever, and not only did they give him money to live on, they gave him a trailer to put on a golf course that he belonged. Mm-hmm. He was a happy camper. and everything, and the money, and everybody was a business, and my friends parents' business. I mean, if you were in the rug business then, man,
they help you.
Was giving you money to do anything. And I thought the government was just the post office,
right.
The IRS, and that was it. Then I came to Washington and got an MBA and was helping Fortune 500 companies, really for corporate planning. And it was really a research stuff. And they taught me about government programs. I saw the rich people. I was getting money from them. For them, it was amazing. It was sort of like millionaires becoming billionaires, all on government programs. Yeah. And God, why don't the people in Wilkes-Barre know about this stuff?
Right. So is that how you transition into looking to help? Because, and again, I'm like a fan, because I used to see your commercials, and again, I'll age myself there, but there was commercials, and there were like, government support, helping, and there was this book in regards to how to do that, and I was just very excited to kind of like, wow, someone on TV, yes, he used to sell the books itself, but to hear the story of like where it all started is amazing, and obviously that's just flourished. We think of the government as, you're right, the DMV or the post office, but there are opportunities to really help folks in the time of need.
Absolutely, and the way I see it too, they don't even call it grants. Most of the money the government gives out is not even called grants. So that's why the people hear about government grants, and they call some office, and no, we don't have any. They have 15 other things that they're money. They call it something, but they don't. So it's really, the average person doesn't know what to ask for, where it is, and that's the problem. I mean, I believe I should not be in business, because this is everything the government should be doing and educating people, but they don't, and it's a pity. So I mean, I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing this. Keeps me off the streets, man. At 81, I figure I got 10-15 more years, to do this.
Right.
And it still excites me every day, because I see the change. Somebody, I needed $500 for to help bury your mother, and every county has something called, they get money called the Community Development Block Grant. Millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they decide how to spend it. And it's really, there's a special emergency money that they have a pot of money. So if you need an emergency, maybe a couple $1,000 because something happened, it's there. But you're going to go to Google, and you're going to get, the sharks that are going to charge you 500%,
right,
when somebody's going to give it to you free. But the person giving it free doesn't advertise. So that's right. To me, the culprit is Google.
Right. But here's the thing: you say that they're available itself. How do you find it? Is it the research? Is it your connections?
No connection. I mean, I flunked English most of the time. I barely got through school. I'm a coal miner's grandson from Pennsylvania. And my grandparents both immigrated here to the U.S. and worked in the coal mines. Yeah. And so I didn't know anything. But no, when I was helping those rich people, because what surprised me, I didn't think the government would even talk to me. But no, I would go in and just make appointments with these government officials, and they'd tell me all about these money programs and everything. And like Procter & Gamble was a client of mine, and they wanted to get in the pasta business. So I found a government expert who studies the pasta business. That's all they do. They get paid like 70, probably 100 grand a year by now, just to study the pasta business. So I'd make an appointment with him, get all the information, the market studies. They just spent millions of dollars on doing market studies on the pasta business. I take all his stuff, take his name off it, put my name on it, and sell it to my clients who make millions of dollars out of this stuff.
Wow.
Actually, my first New York Times bestseller was a book I copied from the government printing office. Didn't write a lick. I told you about my English grades. Yeah. Nothing in the government is copyrighted. You
Right.
can take anything in the government and sell the hell out of it. And there's no law involved.
I was about to say, I do bankruptcy law, not intellectual property law.
But and it just frustrates me. We have all these resources for the average person living in this country. They have no idea, and they got pissed off at the government. Yeah, we're all fucked. Excuse me. Right?
I already wrote down the explicit E on my notes. So
It's all good. It's all good.
So to get to kind of where some of our listeners may be, especially if they've been impacted by Hurricane Helene, where would they go to start if they need help with rent, with mortgage? I mean, we did an episode last week where we said, well, make sure you call your bank. The bank may put you on a forbearance, but the problem is when that forbearance is over, the bank is going to say, great, you took 4 months off, but now we want a lump sum of 4 payments.
Right.
So
here's where you go. Okay, you don't need me. You don't need anybody. You go to findhelp.org.
Okay.
Are you online? Anybody there?
Oh, we can. Yeah.
Are you on?
Yeah.
People have it.
What is it?
Findhelp.org.
findhelp.org. You only want to go to organizations that are end in .org, which means they're nonprofit. They're not going to charge you any money, or .gov, which they're not going to charge you any money. These are the people in our society that give money and free help. The .coms need money from you to pay Google. So these two, that's why you don't find them in Google, because they don't advertise in Google. Google, you're way down. They're way down on the list.
Right.
You'll get 2 billion websites, but they're all .coms who want money from you. Are you there yet?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And the first says find
your zip code. Put in your zip code.
Yeah, the zip code, right.
Let's see. Let's put in the office zip code, because the office is in Clearwater. It's probably closer to where it got impacted. There's only 2,902 programs in the Clearwater area.
That means there's 2,900 organizations that giving out free money.
Yeah, food,
Right,
housing, goods.
Okay, here's what to do in your search bar now. Put in financial assistance.
I mean, this is really good when you're on an audio podcast. Just letting you guys right. You hear Sean typing.
Well, Sean's cute, so don't worry.
It sounds adorable.
Okay. That narrowed it down to 298.
So in Tampa, there's 298 nonprofit organizations that's giving out free money and help for you in financial problems. Who the hell knows about them?
No,
now, Google and put in debt or something, and you'll get 2 billion, right?
I wonder if I put in debt. It's a good idea. If I put in debt, 44.
For us, yes.
For debt.
For debt.
All you typed in was debt, and there's 44 programs.
There's your competition, George.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense.
There's the people who are going to do it for free.
Although a lot of this debt, some of these are credit counseling companies, which people need in order to be able to file bankruptcy. They got to do credit counseling, but these are...
Okay, now those agencies get money from the government to give you services.
Right.
They're subsidized. That's why they're free at certain incomes and things like that.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
But good to know.
It's like that you could put in rent. You probably get 50 or so organizations that help you pay rent. But tell you the truth, what you want to do, particularly in a disaster area like you guys are, here's what you want to do. You want to go to commoncause.org.
Okay.
Because new programs are going to be, popping up like mushrooms, to help people. And find help is probably behind the curve on that. They shouldn't be, but probably are. The best way to get help on these new programs is your elected official.
Right.
And the best way to find your elected official, because you probably have 12 of them there.
Yes, there are a lot.
Is to go to commoncause.org and put in your zip code there.
Yeah, commoncause.org, protecting the vote in 2024.
Yeah, but then they're find my representative. You see a link.
Yes,
for
the Common Cause is a Florida. You can use the state. Choose your state on the top there.
Okay,
top
but
right.
you want to
left.
get more granular than
Choose
that.
your state.
So,
yeah.
find my
Florida.
representative. You see, find my representative.
Protecting and empowering voters. Keep Florida voting.
Look on top. I think there's a tab on top. Find my rep.
I don't see it. I don't see it right now, but I'll look for it.
Well, if Common Cause, let's see, here, commoncause.org.
But yeah, there is something on there I think on the bottom. They may have changed it, but it could be do a search, and then you just find your rep.
Not that. That's just a do.
Yep.
What about us? About resources. Oh my God. Well, actually, here, do this. After commoncause.org,
Right.
all in lowercase, put find dash your, Y-O-U-R, representative. Your dash representative. So commoncause.org/find dash your dash representative.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be after
There
this.
you go.
Find your representative.
It's like you've done this before.
A million or so. But put in your zip code.
Who are my enter your full address. It wants me to give my full address, so hang on.
Oh, yeah, you don't. You could put in just your zip. That's okay.
Yeah, but there you
it
go.
is.
Yeah.
So my president is still Joe Biden.
Okay.
My vice president. But here, my senator is Marco Rubio. My other senator is Rick Scott. My U.S. representative is Anna Paulina Luna. Ron DeSantis is our governor.
Now, what to do? You take that list and start at the top, because the senators and your representative have the biggest staff to help.
Mm-hmm.
When you get the local politicians, their staff aren't as big as the federal politicians.
Right.
So, and they'll be more up on the new money programs available for you, because that's where the money starts in the Washington. And so their senators and congressmen in Washington will know about it, so they could brag they got you guys this money, and you'll vote for the suckers no matter what they do. But you call their office. And that's what it is. It's a people business.
Yeah.
And getting all this stuff is a people business. And it's not, people are so, we're trained to go on the internet and fill out a form, but you can't do that because you don't know what form to fill out.
Right.
The people who really know are the experts who give out the money. Mm-hmm. Don't trust any huckster like me on the internet just telling you what to do. You talk to the people giving out the money, because they're the only experts. Everybody else is guessing. And that's important. So you call your elected official, even if you have to wait on hold 20 minutes. I mean, now we have such a short attention span. If somebody's going to give you $1,000, $3,000, $10,000, $50,000, man, you got nothing to do for the rest of the week.
Right.
But we're so impatient. It's terrible. And if one doesn't help you, you call the next one. And that one doesn't help you, you call the next one. It's just like getting a job, getting a date, whatever you want to do. You just don't ask one person.
Right. The networking part of this. So that's how you do it even from a business standpoint. So that totally makes sense.
And it's not only networking, and from a business standpoint too,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the same thing as a business thing. You're asking somebody for if they have a money program, or if they want to buy something from you, and they say no. That's where the learning part comes, because then you say, hey, why not? And then, oh, but it's not green. So you go home and paint the thing green for the next guy, right? And here it's the same way. You call up. That's why if one senator said, no, there is no such thing. No, you call the next one, because nobody can know everything. I mean, it's so big and so complicated out there. It's impossible. This is why we're wrong so many times. I've written, I know my success rate is 10%. So that means I'm wrong 90% of the time. I've written 100 books. Only 10 made money. And every one, I swear, was going to be New York Times bestseller.
Well,
we just, our mind is our biggest problem. We think we know how the world should be, or how we think it is, and both of those are probably wrong. And particularly when you want help, because help comes in the cracks, and the opportunities are not, they're not opportunities if everybody's doing it. That opportunity's over.
Right. Matthew, let me ask you this. Why do you think people don't take advantage? We know, because you're so excited. We know the programs are out there. Why do you think people don't take advantage of these programs as much as, again, you know the benefits and the impacts, but why do you think people still don't do it?
I think, well, after nobody bought books anymore, I don't know if you remember, you don't see bookstores around anymore like there used to be. They used to go down to Home Shopping, where you guys live, and sell 30,000 books in a day. So that business went away. Nobody bought books anymore. So how do I educate people? And it took me years and years to find out. And now I have what I think seems to be the answer, is a community. People want to learn from other people. And now I'm doing it. I used to charge thousands of dollars to help these fat cats get money. They don't care how much it costs. They're going to be billionaires because of it. But the average person on the street doesn't even, can't spend $200.
Right.
Half the people don't have $500 to cover a bill.
Right.
So I want to get something very, very cheap that anybody could afford. So for $20, I have a community now where people help each other. Because what happens, and we have, so live other people who got the money, not crazy people like me. I mean,
nice suit, though. It's all good.
Asked me to do it. Oh, shit, I can't be that guy. So he's the only one who could get it. But other members who just live help people. And I call it a loving community. So it's people helping each other, with this. And that seems to be the key. I mean, I thought I could barely make a living doing this. And it's more profitable than anything else I've done. It's not big, but it doesn't matter. I just want to, now we're so successful, at least in my mind, we're still a very small business. We give out $70,000 a year to members, back to members.
Wow.
I mean, a month, $70,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
Profit. So instead of taking any profit from the business, we're giving profit back to the members who gave us the money. I mean, they gave us $20 for the month. So if we have money back, we give it to them. So we have 4 grants every month. But more importantly, it's them. It's people. You believe in other people like yourself, not some slick huckster.
Right.
Like me, and that seems to be ran into by accident. It's like anything. I failed at 100 other things I was trying to. I knew people needed this, but how do they need it? And how do they buy? I didn't know. And all the experts are telling me I can't make money at $20. Man, I'm making more money.
Right.
Yeah. Then when I was selling this for thousands and thousands, sure, Fortune 500 company, $10 grand was nothing for me to go around and get this stuff for them, because they're going to make so much money on it.
Right.
So what are some other common misconceptions? I mean, these are grants, so they don't have to get repaid.
It is, I think, when people hear about one thing, and it's like this with everything. Well, you're going to play professional football. You want to be a football player. Well, I'll just go out and play. And you go out and play, and shit, you're not good at all. And so the same way with using the government program. Oh, I'll just call them up and get. No, you call in the wrong place. Like getting a government grant. You call the SBA. No, they don't have government grants. That's the wrong place to go. And you'll call them up and they say, no, we don't have grants. Who tell you? Well, I saw this guy on TV. Oh, that asshole. No wonder. But no, they're not. They're local. Now, here's where you go if you have a business, you want to grow it, or you don't have money, you want to, you have probably in Tampa area, there could be 10, 20, 30 nonprofit organizations that do nothing but help you figure out how to start or grow your business. Whether you need legal help, you need more financing, you need whatever it is. They do all this for free, okay? And the way you find them actually is the SBA. If you go to sba.gov and then put /local-assistance, sba.gov/local-assistance. Put in your zip code again. You want to do that now? You got it? See?
Yeah, I'm going to go there now.
Yeah.
sba.gov/local-assistance. Local assistance. Enter your zip code, business zip code.
Right.
And I can do a search up to 25 miles away. Search nearby. Okay.
How many you got there?
Let's see. Eight SBA
okay. So
resources.
8 organizations sitting there for free, and they're going to know about the grants because most of the grants for businesses are local, and they come and go occasionally. Training grants for like you guys there. If you want to train somebody to find customers for you or whatever. Okay, actually, they could help you find that, but the real place for that is the careeronestop.org. careeronestop.org. You go there, that's where all the training money is. And it's for businesses. You could hire somebody with no background or anything, and they'll give you money to train the person for 3 months or whatever it is, so they get up to speed, so you could hire them. They'll pay it, or pay most of it. It depends. I mean, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Career One Stop as an employer. To do that, and people don't think of that, they don't know or whatever. So that's why it's not in the obvious places. See, if you wanted to start a business, you would have gone to the SBA. They said no,
right.
We don't have grants. And here you found 8 other people, and there's more. Actually, what you want to do is go to eda.gov. That's the Economic Development Administration.
Okay.
And there's something like reports. You want to see the local EDA offices. I don't forget eda.gov. Forget what they call it. EDA resources and tools. You see that?
Resources and tools. Yep. Find grant resources.
Okay. Find grant. No, you don't want that. You want to find the Economic Development Directory.
Yep.
Okay, there it is.
Okay.
Oh, select your state.
Okay. Okay, so collect Florida, right? Okay. Now see all those organizations there?
Yeah.
Every one of them are there to help your business grow. That's what their motive is. Okay.
Okay.
Every one of them. So that's a shopping list. Say, you know about marketing, that's where you go. And you call every one of those suckers. Otherwise, you're going to go to Google and get 2 billion websites, and what the hell are you going to do?
Right.
And that's what happens. People go to Google, make one or few phone calls. People don't help them. Say, yeah, I knew Lesko was wrong. Yeah.
It's amazing that it's amazing when you look at all of the websites that you've provided really don't come up right in the SEOs. They're not going to come up in the Google at the top of the list. You're getting more of your for-profit that's coming in. But if you start to search through, I've heard of Score, I've heard of those small business type, and those do have amazing resources that, again, people forget are available and not at a big cost. You're right, it's just more time. You got to go or do a webinar or volunteer or get a mentor. We forget that these resources are available when we're in the thick of things.
And that's right. And so you don't know your options, and some slick salesman like me will convince you. Yeah,
They're like,
you don't get,
here's a
you
book,
don't buy
right? Here's a
this.
book, or here's a website, or here's a training course that tells you to go to the same websites that you just gave for free on this podcast.
And that, but I'll tell you another thing. What's nice about AI? AI, I'm a really fan of for this kind of work, because AI to me is like the old library. See, before the computer, I mean, I've been doing this 50 years. So before computers, I have an MBA in computer, so familiar. But I used to go to the libraries and get all this information because that's where it was. You know, magazines, books, references, and all that kind of stuff. Nobody's selling you anything at the library. And the sources, or maybe there's ads in a newspaper or something like that, but that was obvious. You know, they're not selling the answer that you're looking for. So you never looked at the ads for whatever it is, breast enhancement.
And that used to be, you're right on that. That's hilarious.
Exactly. So, and AI is like this. Here's how to use AI. And you don't need me again. You cut me out, because they'll show you all this. You could put in, like Tampa. Are you on? I use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You guys use any of that?
Yeah. Familiar, definitely.
Okay. You want to do it up and we'll do it together?
I like I said, this is like a huge tutorial. But go ahead.
I got ChatGPT.
Okay, ChatGPT. You're going to put in a request. Okay.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Show me 50 sources of money and help to start or expand a business from government offices or nonprofit organizations. Oh, I wanted to put in Tampa first. So no, show me, what did I say? 50 sources of money and help in Tampa. Can you put that in Tampa there? In Tampa, Florida.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. From government offices and nonprofit organizations. Include websites.
Oh, I forgot to ask it to include websites.
You can do that next. You can always expand on your search once you do that.
There are several government offices and nonprofit organizations that provide funding and support the city of Tampa, the commercial exterior and interior grants, providing up to $50,000, special projects grants, pre-development grants, Hillsborough County small business grants, nonprofit and philanthropic grants, Tampa Bay Wave, Florida High Tech Corridor, Tampa Bay Black Business Investment Corporation. Wow.
See? Yeah. I mean, every one of those is legit. You can't get that on Google. Yeah. Never. You put in that anything close to that, and you're just going to get 2 billion, and they'll be on page 39 or 32.
Well, and I said provide websites, and so it redid it with all the links in it.
See? Now, what is better than that?
Yeah.
You guys just put me out of business. I'll see you.
Well, that's actually the point of the podcast, is that people get out of debt and they don't need to listen to us anymore.
There you go.
Right.
Love it.
See, that's why the power of this is just remarkable to me. That's what gives me, energy to do this every day, and I can't wait to get up in the morning. And that's why having an opportunity like this to educate people is just wonderful.
Well, we really appreciate you being a guest on this week's show. Is there anything we missed? Anything you want to add?
I have a free service, maybe that people, because Lesko help is $20, so we're going to try to get $20. But if that, a lot of people don't have $20,
right?
And they're the people who want to help even more. So I have something called trylesko.com, TRYLESK.com, and I send you a report, the best starting places. Now here, let me show you. I have another list here. If you you want to take down some of these. Okay, anything to do with housing and debt. These are starting places to go, so you don't go to Google. HUD.gov/counseling.
HUD.gov, okay.
Yeah, I know HUD has a free counseling service.
Right, they have it, but that's the website where you can put in your zip code and you could find a dozen in your area. The next is for anything to start a grow business, a nonprofit, a invention, or just a freelancer, or real estate investing too. That's sba.gov/local assistance. For job and job training, there's a lot of free training money. We talked about it as an employer or as a person. Now there are programs in the government in Florida where they pay you like $40,000 a year without a college degree to get a job worth $100,000 a year. So instead of going to college and paying somebody $100,000 and having that debt, they'll give you $40,000 a year. So you get skills to have a $100,000 career.
Right.
And we're hurting for that. Then the other good one is findhelp.org I told you about.
Yes.
Right.
Here's another great source for medications and things like that.
Oh, wow.
needymeds.org.
Needy?
Needy, Needy.
Gotcha.
You need answer, Jim. We're all needy.
Yeah.
needymeds.org. Okay. Want to go there. Now, here's for seniors and people with disabilities. These are, again, all starting places. They may or may not have the answer, but that's a way. And
Right.
if they can help you, you ask where else to go. Is eldercare.acl.gov. eldercare.acl.gov. And they'll give you an 800 number to call, and you call your local area office on aging. That's very popular down there in Florida. For veterans, here's an office. It's called a county veteran service officers that will do research for you for all the veterans programs. But
Right.
if you're a veteran, you want to get the veterans programs, but don't stop there. That's only like 10% of what you're eligible for
Right.
everywhere. But their 800 numbers, 888-777-4443. 888-777-4443. And the last one is your elected official. And again, you may have to go down the list.
Right.
And to get somebody who you're nice to, commoncause.org.
Common cause. Yep, we talked about that
And
one.
all these things, what
Awesome.
we have to realize, see, we're used to asking for help from people we're going to pay. People we're
Yeah.
going to pay will kiss your ass. Get the money. And these people get paid whether they help you or not.
Right.
So it's a different relationship. You have to be nice as hell to them. The opposite, they're nice as hell to you.
Right.
So we're not used to that. We're not trained for this. And that's how you get it. Because don't forget, if you're mean or something, they could just hang up on you and it doesn't change anything. Talk to somebody else nicer who's going to call after you. But they could work for you for free for 2 weeks and get the same paycheck.
Wow.
So they'd rather
Yeah.
work for somebody nice and help somebody nice.
Good Lord.
No, I love it. Again, it's amazing how much information and
Yeah.
websites it's available to you that you just don't know or think that is available to you. So
Yeah.
this was a huge learning experience for me, for sure.
I've got more than a page
For show notes, and imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is going to take me a while to get this one
what
posted.
happened, I call this the kindness society.
Yeah, I love it.
Capitalist society that's trying to get money from everybody, and it works pretty well.
Yes.
We all have a living doing that. And that's about 2/3 of our economy. But a third of our economy is government and nonprofit organizations that give you money. So that's a third of the economy that people don't realize that is eligible for them for free.
Nice.
Wow.
Take advantage, right? Take advantage, guys. Again, we always say we're always looking for help. Here's a huge opportunity to do that.
And people say, "Oh, I don't want to use the government." Well, that's fine. but it's sort of like today. It's sort of like, "Oh, I'm in Washington D.C. If I'm going to drive to New York, I got to get on the expressway." But I hate expressways. Yeah, it's just going to take you twice as long to get there if you don't use them.
Right.
So that's what I say. I mean, you're hurting yourself. But if it's I can't tell anybody else how to live their lives. I don't know what the hell to do in my life. So what gives me the audacity to think I can tell somebody else how to live their life?
Love it.
Well, we definitely appreciate you being a guest on this week's show. I've learned a ton. I've taken down a ton of notes. So this will be really helpful for the listeners. So I really do appreciate it.
My pleasure. It's selfish. The nicest thing in the world to do is give and love other people, right? It's just trying to find some diverse, deserving bastard to love.
There you go.
Well, we do want to kind of wrap up the show, but before we do it, we've got to give some love again to Magic Mind. So again, thank you again for Magic Mind for renewing. It's magicmind.com/CD20, and then the discount code is CD20. Also, if you want to be kind to us, if you want to give us a grant, patreon.com/crushingdebt. You can give some money to the show. All that goes back into the show. I don't know. Maybe we could do something cool with it, like start a Crushing Debt grant.
There you go.
For people in trouble.
Why not? Why not?
We'll
If inspired today.
Maybe. And then our friend Sam Cohen, if you're an attorney or title company and you want malpractice coverage, go to sam@attorneysfirst.com. Thanks again. I do understand Sam was impacted. He lives up in North Carolina now, and I guess he was impacted by the storm. So Sam, wherever you are working from remote right now, hopefully you will be back home soon. Hopefully everything's okay. I know Sam, Happy New Year to Sam.
There you go.
He is part of that same tribe that I am a part of, so Happy New Year to Sam. Again, sam@attorneysfirst.com. You can help him out if you're a title company or attorney that needs malpractice coverage. Other than that, I think we're at the end of the show.
Love. This was exciting. It was a pleasure meeting you, Matthew. It was one of those kind of things. I didn't expect it, but I'm glad it happened for sure.
I've never seen George starstruck before.
I'm a little starstruck, man. I'm telling you.
So well, thanks again, Matthew. We do appreciate you being a guest on the show.
My pleasure.
And we hope definitely with this show you'll have more money at the end of the month rather than month at the end of the money. And we will talk to you in next week's episode of the podcast.